quirky, but may in fact come from a long line of quirky folks. Physically, he's underwhelming, sort of a Caspar milquetoast in a 17th century embroidered nightshirt. And his ineptness is only bold-faced by Joseph's IQ of a rabbit comment, assuming, of course, that Joseph's views aren't skewed by some sort of bias. And apparently they're not, given that Franklin doesn't disagree with Joseph on the matter. He seems to suggest that, yes, that may be true, but more important things are at work here. Chief among those other things, Franklin suggests, is the angel's faith, and this is something so important that it trumps everything else. So, exactly what is this childlike faith that Franklin holds in such high esteem? For starters, it's something not to be taken lightly. In Matthew 19:14, when the disciples rebuke those who have brought little children to Jesus, what does Jesus say? "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Clearly, Jesus is big on children. He sees something special in them. He defends them in much the same way Franklin sees something in Clarence and defends him. But what is it about children's approach to faith that's so engaging? Though Jesus doesn't get specific about that, the answer is in their approach to life. As children, we are not jaded by the sophistication of the world. We're real. We're humble. We're willing to admit our needs and trust that others can help us. We're unpretentious and adventurous. We're lighthearted and imaginative. And we're fearless, willing to take a risk, a juvenile version of what the early 20th century Bible teacher Oswald Chambers calls reckless joy. And then, of course, we grow up. And what happens? In many cases, we get jaded by the world. Instead of being real, we rationalize behaviors. We learn to put our personal spin on our shortcomings rather than deal with them. We become pretentious. We throw ourselves into all sorts of physical adventure, but are cowardly regarding relationships, flitting from one person to the next, lacking the courage to commit. We hide our needs from others, from God, from ourselves. We play it safe, settling for too little in life. Rather than live by faith, we embrace one of many forms of legalism, be it a secular or religious version. Rather than try to please God with simple faith, we complicate things by trying to prove to Him how worthy we are by our works. We're full of fear, but we mask it with everything from busyness to addictions to rationalization as we desperately seek to convince ourselves that we're content. In reality, we know little of Chambers' reckless joy. Not Clarence, no sir. He's the real deal, living for some deeper ideals instead of simply going with the flow. Ideals that stem from his childlike approach to life. Nick's bar may be serving hard drinks for men who want to get drunk fast, but Clarence orders the mulled wine, heavy on the cinnamon and light on the cloves. He's unpretentious and honest. "I didn't have time to get some stylish underwear. My wife gave me this on my last birthday. I passed away in it." He's imaginative. Remember, the point of insight on which the entire movie turns, George seeing what life would have been like without him, was Clarence's idea. And finally, he's a simple man, or angel, full of childlike faith. Clarence believes in George Bailey. He believes in his plan to help save him, but above all, he believes in the one who sent him. And he exudes a certain sense of privilege that he's been chosen to be part of his plan. Yes, he's a silly angel named Clarence, but director Frank Capra's use of him in this sense affirms deeper truths regarding a God who has often chosen the kind of people whom the larger world would not have. David, a lowly shepherd. Moses, a stutterer with low self-esteem. And Rahab, a prostitute. In choosing Clarence, Capra knowingly or unknowingly furthered a truth about childlike faith as suggested in 1 Corinthians 1:27. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Given as much, might He also use imperfect people like you and me? Lesson 2. Underdogs matter.